So I just saw The Shape of Water today. I have my notes, and my notes today are 3 pages long because this is a very thick movie. A lot of wheels turning, kind of a lot of side characters, a couple of main characters, but they all kind of have their roles, obviously, but you know, they all have their role to play in the movie, which is interesting. So it stars Sally Hawkins. She's like the main character of the film. Doug Jones plays the sea monster guy. Michael Shannon from Boardwalk Empire. He's like the bad guy, I suppose. He's the guy that's keeping the sea monster hostage, kind of prisoner. Richard Jenkins is, I think, he's the artist next door to Sally. David Hewlett from Stargate Atlantis. He's like the nerdy scientist guy that kind of keeps everything running. And have not got the name of the guy that plays Hofstadter, who's also a scientist. I don't know his name. Octavia Spencer. She was in The Help, and she plays Sally's friend, who's also a cleaner. But anyway, so I'll tell you what the film's about. The film's about a cleaner, Sally, who she's a cleaner in a top secret facility in Washington, and Octavia is her friend, and they're both cleaners in the top secret facility. And Michael Shannon's really the guy who runs the whole operation, but he has to answer to a general. And David is kind of his right hand man, kind of like he kind of makes sure that everything with the sea monster's kind of okay. It's not really like, there isn't really a secret about it. It's just kind of like, oh, here it is. You know what it is. You've seen the trailer. Let's go. So yeah, so just looking at my notes. So yeah, so Sally lives in an apartment above a theatre, and it's I think it's like set in the 1950s. And it's like kind of, you know, she doesn't have much, but it's a simple kind of life. It's nice life. And she lives next door to this artist who's really nice too, and he kind of has his secrets too. But yeah, so kind of it spends a little bit of time building up her little world, but then it kind of just gets straight into it, where she sees something in this big container that they've just taken in from South America, and but then the next day she sees that it's like well, it looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon, kind of. You know, he's in a big fish tank basically, and then the next day he's in like a pool of water, but he's chained up. You know, it's kind of, it's really sad, and you know, but Octavia seems to be his only friend, and like, you know, she feels sorry for him, and she gives him boiled eggs, and she teaches him sign language. which is really important because Michael Shannon is kind of a brute. He's he tortures the monster. They never give him a name, which is really annoying. They never just call him something, because I'm going to have to keep. I'm just going to refer to him, the sea monster. I'm just going to refer to him as M, because it's kind of annoying, because they never give him a name. Maybe they did and I missed it. I don't think they did. But Sally's deaf, that's well, she isn't deaf, she just can't talk. She hasn't got any somebody cut out her throat when she was a kid or something. But anyway, so they build a relationship, and then Sally sees Michael torturing the monster M, and it's it's really sad, but like he just doesn't, like, he's an idiot. Like, I wrote down, like, he's a dumbass, because it's like, well, that's the first thing you do when you're trying to contact, talk to somebody from a different country. Like, you don't capture them and start torturing them. You're like, you try to work out some sort of a, like, this is a pen, like, you work out some sort of language, but some way of communicating. But of course, he's just an idiot. Like, he's really good at his job, because he used to be in the military and that, but when it comes to M, he's just like, just torture it, and maybe he'll reveal some secrets. Why? I don't know, but yeah, so that's the first hour of the film, like, just kind of the relationship building between Sally and M, and but eventually, of course, sorry, just reading my notes. Eventually, of course, orders come down from the top to say that, like, there's nothing more we can learn from him. We're just going to have to dissect him. And so Sally comes up. Sally finds this out, and she comes up with a way of breaking him out of the facility. But side story, there's a Russian spy. His name in the film is Hofstadter, Bob Hofstadter, and Bob Hofstadter, and he's relaying messages back to the his contacts, and he's trying the USSR basically at this point, and tell them all about the creature and what he's learned and what the Americans have learned and all of this. But then eventually, of course, they tell him to kill him, and so they kind of all come together, where Hofstadter knocks out the power, and then Sally gets him out in a laundry basket. Sorry, spoilers. Oops. But yeah, that's the first hour of the film. That's like kind of, how do we get him out? But that's how they get him out. And so then the second hour of the film is kind of Michael Shannon trying to figure out who took M out of the facility, and basically Sally and M spend a lot of time together, and they have feelings for each other, and they fall in love with each other. And going forward is going to be spoilers, but not too many. I'm just going to talk about there was some really nice scenes, like intense scenes, where Michael Shannon was interrogating Sally and Octavia, kind of a couple of times, you know. First scene was like, you know, you've seen what's in there. Don't tell anybody what's in there in the secret room. From now on, you two are the only ones that can clean the secret room with M in it. Like, you know. But then later on, he kind of questions them on, do you have any idea what happened? And then they're like, no. And then he's like, well, what am I doing wasting my time with you guys, with the help, you know, with the cleaning staff, basically. So he goes more into it, like, you know, it becomes, the first half of the movie is kind of a jailbreak, planning a jailbreak, and then the second half of the movie is like Michael, like, you know, it's a mystery story for him, and then it's kind of a love story. Well, it's a love story the whole way through for Sally and M, but like it really comes to in the second hour where, you know, there's, I think it's in the trailer, you know, Sally keeps M in her apartment, and one of the days she fills up the bathroom with water, and like the two of them are intimate together, and it's, you know, it's funny because then downstairs just like leaking through the theatre, you know, and it's funny, but yeah, some nice mood lighting, not so much. There's some nice sweet dance scenes. There's a great dance scene where Sally has a fantasy about dancing with M, and it's kind of like a 1950s musical number. It's really cool. It's really nice, and is it in black and white? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it's really lovely, and the music. There's just like French music playing from the whole way through it, and when I first heard the music, I thought, "Oh, this movie's in France," but it isn't. The music has nothing to do with the movie. It's just nice music. It doesn't. It's like, what? But it's based in Washington. Like everything's based in Washington, which is like, oh okay. But I thought it was, but the music threw me off. So that's like, it's really nice music, but the music threw me off. But like a few, like 10, 15 minutes into the film, once you realise actually no, we're in America, I was like, oh right, okay. Because like she lives next door to an artist, so it was like, it could be France. But then it's only when she goes to the top secret facility and it's like all Americans, it's like, all right, okay. And then they actually say it, they're in Washington. Like, but like, yeah, there is some funny scenes where Ems has a look around the flat and he finds a cat and he him and the cat have like a face off, and then he just eats the cat. That's really funny. There's some really nice scenes in it. There's a lot of mature scenes in it. There's nude scenes in it. Sally gets nude a lot. Michael Shannon has an adult scene with his wife in the movie. So I'd put maybe a 16's M for mature on this film. I'd put an 18's maybe on it, because it gets gory at the end. But it is a happy ending. Spoilers, I did say spoilers, but yeah. But I mean, it would have to be, because if it was a sad ending, everybody would be ticked off. It is a very strong film. It's kind of like Little Mermaid meets Beauty and the Beast. It's kind of like that film. That kind of a film. It's really nice. And I don't think it has anything to do with the Dark Universe. Universal's Dark Universe. I don't think it has anything to do with it. Yeah, the acting's really great in it. Well, I think Michael Shannon should get. I think they've all gotten nominees, but I think Michael Shannon should get an Oscar for Best Actor, because I've seen the other films, and a lot of the films have strong women in it, and he's the only really strong. I know Tom Hanks in The Post was good, but Michael Shannon did a better job in this film. I feel. So I think he should win Oscar for Best Actor. Because he's really, he plays a really good bad guy, but like, he's very focused on his job and everything, and it kind of like, he doesn't really, his wife cares about him, but he doesn't really care about him or the kids. He's cares more about getting a new cow. But yeah. So yeah, there's a cool bit where like M takes his fingers, and he bites them off kind of at the beginning of the film, and then Michael gets them reattached, but through the movie they go blacker and blacker, and it's really cool. And it kind of goes to his character where he just isn't a good guy, and it's really cool. And then M touches the artist. What's his name? Anyway, he touched the artist in the head because he's bald, and his hair grows back, and turns out M has supernatural powers, which really comes in handy at the end. But yeah, so a lot of mysteries and a lot of kind of cool, fun stuff happens, and the way his body glows, and the really great makeup on the creature itself. It's really good, like really cool, and the set designs are really good, and all of the monitors, and it's really 50s. It's really retro. It's really good. So yeah, so I would recommend this film if you like romance stories, as it is a romance story basically. I'd recommend this. But yeah, if a but I think there's enough in here for guys too that maybe doesn't like romance stories but watches it with their girlfriends. Like, Michael Shannon will get you through the story, don't worry. Yeah, there's a good subplot with the spy and all of that, but it's like, it's okay, but so that's it. I'll wrap it up, and so yeah, so 16's M. There is mature scenes in it, but 16's M. And it's a romance film, so that's what you should know. So thanks for watching. So subscribe up here. Check out my last movie review, which was Star Wars. That's a funny review. Check out another video, and maybe I'll put like a film I made last year up here. So thanks for watching, and see you later.